Alright, we're back at the default interface in Blender with the default cube and default camera and all of that. I'm splitting the view. First, I'm going to give myself a Python console here at the top. Yep. And I'm going to split the view again so that I have a text editor. Okay. And one of the issues with the text editor is there's a button in it that you only see it when you drag the view out. Oh wait, no. You only see it after you've created a new text. You have to click on new. And then now it's created a text called text, and you're able to type something into this window. You could say like A equals whatever 1, and I'll make that bigger for you. You can see it. There we go. A equals 1. We'll do some line numbers, syntax highlighting. There we go. And then over here, now this button has appeared called Run Script. So the console will run a command right after you type something. So down here, I can say A equals 2, and and then I can request what A is, and it'll tell me that it's 2. But up here, I can type multiple commands, and they won't actually happen until I've hit run Python. So here I have to say print A, like that. Print A. I could say print hello world. Okay. And then over here, I have the run script button. When I run this, it ran, and it didn't really show us anything here. We have to know that we have to go back to the terminal that we originally launched Blender from, and there is where we see it printed 1 and hello world. So if you're on Windows, you need to make sure that you're opening Blender with the DOS window open, so you can see these print commands are your basics tool for debugging and figuring out not just what went wrong, but how to do things. So let's take a closer look at how we can do research without going to the internet. We can use a function called dir. So I'm gonna print dir of A, and when I run this script, I'll look over in the console and I'll see that it has printed all of the method or function names for the number object, and we ignore everything that has double underscores before and after. And we're just looking at these functions here, like 2 bytes, real, bit length, conjugate, denominator. It's kind of things that you would expect from a number. So let's take a look at 2 bytes. I'm curious what 2 bytes looks like. So I'll use the console over here, and I know my A over here is also a number, so I can say 2 bytes, enter. And when you see something like this, built-in method 2 bytes of something, it's telling you, well, this is the main thing that's telling you, it's a built-in method. Yes, a built-in method means you were supposed to use parentheses. When this is a function, a method, in order to use it, you need those parentheses. And then here it's telling me that I didn't use the function correctly. Length at position 1 not found. Okay, not sure what length is really referring to, but we could just put in any number and maybe byte order not found. So notice it's at position 2. There it is. See, position 2. So that means over here it's going to be comma. That's our position 2. And aha, see, it says the second argument must be a string, not an int. Stir is string, int is number. I had used number 1, so let's try putting 1 in quotes, forcing it to be a string. And then now it's telling me that string is not what it's expecting. It's expecting the word little or big. I won't get into what endianness means, little and big. Endianness, that's not what I'm showing you here. I'm showing you how to debug things by reading error messages. And then finally it worked. So A, 2 bytes, returned something that kind of looks like a string because it's in quotes, but there's a B. There's a B here at the front, denoting that this is a special type of string or series of characters, raw bytes basically. So this number, the number 1, I think A is 1. Oh no, A is 2. So in some sort of byte hexadecimal format, we can see these are all zeros, but then we finally do see a 2, an X002 right there. So anyways, that's the relationship between this 2 and that 2. This is another way to write the number 2. We don't usually use this in Blender, but we heavily use this, the console and reading error messages. So here's a real Blender error message. It's bpi data objects okay, so it's saying blend data, blender bpi.data, that's what blend data is talking about. Object has no attribute object. Okay, well, it looks like I forgot the S at the up arrow. There we go, S. Okay, 3 objects. The 3 objects in my scene in Blender, the camera, the lamp, and the cube. And I can access each one through a number. The camera is the first object, and it looks like the lamp is the last object. And is there anything past the lamp? No. bpi, prop, collection, index 3 out of range. It's telling you that the collection has 3, but you're trying to access the 3rd index, which is actually the 4th item. There is no 4th item in this list. It's only of a size 3. So if you can't use numbers that go outside the bounds of the number of items in the list. Don't forget that in Python, if you want the last item, it's -1. That's allowed.